Hey guys, okay, so it is Monday night after work and I have some updates for you. So honestly, I'm not sure where I was at in my last update for what is the name of this book that I never can remember any names of books. The Dark Lord's Guide to Dating. I'm at 60%. I'm not sure where I was in the last clip, but basically we're now at a point where things have occurred. The chemistry is taken full effect, if you will, and we're going to war. He's going to war to defend basically keeping her, and she's been revealed some things about her father, and basically she's on board with whatever sort of seems to happen, I think, is the drift I'm getting. But having a good time with that. Gonna read more of that tonight, I think. But to have an audiobook going, I did go ahead and start Shield of Sparrows, which came in on Libby, so I decided to go ahead and borrow it. And I know a lot of people are talking about this one, so I'm excited to read that amidst the hype. But I am on chapter 8 of that, which is 12% into the audiobook. It's a 20-hour audiobook. I listen personally on 1.75 speed, so probably will be, nearly half of that. But just so I have something to listen to get through another book, like while I'm getting ready in the morning and stuff like that. And for my commute, let's see. Fear the monsters we make. Basically, at this point in this story, we have our main character, Odessa, who is essentially, even though she's the older princess, she's like the spare, because her sister was the one that was going to be married off in this treaty situation that they have to do like I don't know if it was every generation, or basically there's these cycles where these monsters come and attack, and every season where they're supposed to be attacking, they marry off, and all these alliances and treaties happen because all of the kingdoms need to stand together against these beasts. So in a weird little twist of situations, the sister is not the one that gets married to the prince, Prince Xavier. And then we have the Guardian, who sort of seems like he can read minds. I don't know. Not sure if that's real or just being sort of implied at this point. And she's sort of the free-spirited sister. So she's the one who, likes to paint, likes art, is always late for everything, that sort of thing. Whereas her sister is trained with weaponry and, is sort of the one. And there's some plots brewing. So it sort of seems like maybe they switched which princess they chose based on them possibly thinking that the one that he was going to marry might be up to something and have the skills to accomplish it, whereas Odessa has no idea what's going on. And she's like, I can't be queen. I don't know. This whole plot is revealed by her father when it turns out that she's the one that's going to have to marry him. And there's these religious rules, which is why she ends up being the one, and the king, her father, can't do anything to stop it. So definitely some interesting dynamics going on there. And I really don't know who the MMC is going to be. I have not read the back of this book, and I have no idea what's going to happen. So I'm just kind of actually going to keep with that energy. I do have a physical copy of this book, so I might physically read it at some, read along with the audiobook. But yeah, basically she's married this guy, and they're about to journey off to his kingdom set sail. So I have no idea what's going to happen or anything. But she definitely does not give trained assassin vibes. Like, she does not know what she's doing at all, and she's just sort of bumbling along with her 2 hours of instruction from her dad, the king. So should be interesting. But yeah, I'm gonna eat some dinner and do some reading, and I'll update you if anything exciting happens. Hey guys, okay, so it is now Wednesday, and I didn't do much more reading that night because I fell asleep. Whatever is new. So I am now 57% into Shield of Sparrows, and still having a good time. But when I really think about what's been happening in this book, it's not a lot. Like, when I step back and think, okay, objectively, what plot things have happened, there's really not much to report. But I don't think I really thought about that or realized it until this moment when I was like, let me do an update. Like, the marriage happened. We went on a journey over sea, and then we trucked over land, and then we were plopped in like a little village for a little while, and then we went somewhere else, and now we're going back to the village at my current point that I'm at. And her husband wants like nothing to do with her. Like, it almost is giving, like, if he was gay and had to get married, like, that's the energy we're getting. Like, he's nice to her and, you know, polite. He's polite, but he's not like interested in her in any way. So that is like clearly not going to be our MMC. I'm pretty sure I know who is, but like, I don't see how this is going to work out. I feel like I know there's supposedly, I still have not read the back of this book, but supposedly I have heard there is quite a plot twist at the end. And the only thing I can think of is that maybe who we think is the prince might not be the prince. I'm really not sure. And I don't know. I have a theory, but like, I don't know if that's just like delusion, to be completely honest with you. It could be. But like, they have these two characters, they have some chemistry. It's like enemies to something. Maybe it's going to be enemies to something. Right now it's enemies to they're not really enemies. Like, she keeps telling him she hates him, but she doesn't. You know, pretty classic stuff. I haven't read any more of the Dark Lord's Guide to Dating. I mean, I read a few more pages, but like nothing of note to update on. And I would say at this point, I'm more into Shield of Sparrows. So I'm going to keep listening to that. And if I get to the plot twist and I am correct, I will report back. And yeah, I'm gonna sit here and eat some nachos and drink my Dr. Pepper strawberries and cream because I'm addicted, and I don't know that I will ever be not addicted to it. But anyway, I'm gonna do that and listen to some more of this and see what's happening. Oh, also the other thing in this story is that there are the monsters, and it's like they have rabies essentially. So that's something. They're like acting all crazy. So we're trying to figure out how to solve that, which I don't know what you're going to do about that with no modern medicine. But anyway, that's apparently an important plot point. I don't know. Everyone's like raving about this, and I'm not saying I'm not having a good time, but I just, when I think back, I'm like, I don't know that much has happened. So we'll see how the second half of this book is, because I mean, I'm pretty much just a little over half at this point. So we'll see what happens in the second half. But as of this moment, I'm not sure that I'm getting the hype. Like, I'm feeling like, okay, it's good, but I don't know if it's hype worthy. And the second half will obviously be determining those thoughts. So we'll see what happens. I rambled long enough. Goodbye. Hey guys. Okay, so I have just finished, like, this very second, Shield of Sparrows. And what are my thoughts? I'll start out with my rating. I'm giving it 3 stars, which is not bad by any means, but I don't really think this book is worth the hype that it's getting, at least from what I've seen. I know this is like a newer release, so, you know. I stand by what I said in the last update. It feels like not a lot's happening. The only really things that are happening is like fights with the beasts, the monsters of this book. And there's this whole subplot of a disease infecting, well, no, it's not a subplot, it's the plot. The beasts are infected with essentially rabies, and there's all these different kinds of monsters in this world. Namely, I think you really, throughout the book, there's 3 that are like happening, and there's one that's like a situation where the Great Migration happens every like generation, and a bunch of people die because they really have no way to defend against them. And they're called the Crux, and basically like giant winged beasts that can just decimate everything. So basically we're trying to figure out and like prevent the spread of the Liza in hopes to like not have all the beasts get infected, because when they are, they're essentially, they're rabid, so they're bloodthirsty, so they're attacking more than they would be just living their little lives in the forest. That being said, okay, that plot just doesn't seem that exciting to me. Like, I don't feel like those battle scenes with the different beasts was really that intriguing. You know what I mean? We're pursuing that mystery, and we do get answers in the end of the book, but then there's like a big reveal at the end of the book. And also, I just want to say, so that ended on a cliffhanger, the reveal at the very, very end of the book. But the other reveals that happen about 70% and a little bit onward, I'm just like, was that really necessary? It's like he's keeping all these things from her because he doesn't trust her. And okay, I get that. Like, she's technically a bride from an enemy kingdom, even though everybody's supposed to be like treated up. That's the whole reason for these marriages. But the level of deception is just like up here, and it seems like it could be like here, you know? I don't know. Does that make sense? Me and my rambly review thoughts. But basically, all I am saying is that it felt like there was a lot of secrets being kept to no avail, essentially. And they don't really like, I don't know, they end up together, but at the same time I'm like, where was the bonding other than them training together? And I know you could say that about a lot of books, but in this one it just seemed like the connection was maybe, it felt like there was still a distance there because he was keeping so much stuff from her. I feel like, yeah, maybe that's what it is that, you know, that he's keeping all these things from her. And so once they do finally like get together and there is some spice, but not a lot. It takes quite long into the book to get there, which is fine. I don't know. It's like, does she really know him because all these things were kept secret? And the catalyst, that's another thing. The catalyst for how these things get revealed, like the biggest thing, like it made sense, but it was shitty. It was so shitty because it was like, okay, well, were you ever going to tell her? Because the way things happen sort of forced your hand. So you've been with her for months at this point and still never told her the truth. I just, even though you're supposedly like developing feelings for her, I don't know. That whole thing just seemed a little bit outlandish to me. Yeah, like, oh, I'm so sorry I kept things from you, and blah, blah, blah. I have a nice crispy Diet Coke. But at the same time, at no point did we get the vibe that he was planning to reveal these things to her. He just did it because his hand was forced. So that part irritated me. So I know 3 stars is not a bad rating, but I will give most things a 4 if I enjoyed it, 5 if I was like in love with it. My standard is probably around a 4. This is a solid 3 to me just because those things irritated me, but I don't know if I would have had a different experience reading it physically, but because I was listening to it on audio, I got through it decently quickly with the time that I spent reading it or listening to it, and I wasn't bored. I say all that to say I wasn't bored listening to it, but then when I would stop and reflect on my thoughts to give an update, it's like, okay, well, what really happened? What plot points are we hitting right now? And it doesn't feel like anything too exciting happened, minus the battles with the monsters. So, I don't know. I probably will read the second book. You know, the first book is a beautiful sprayed edge edition, which I bought it I pre-ordered it based on that alone. So I probably will want to buy a sequel and just to have the matching set on my shelves and whatnot because they are such pretty books. But not entirely sure that this book is really earning its hype. But 3 stars nonetheless is not bad. And that's my wrap-up of Shield of Sparrows. And now that I have finished that, I need to go ahead and finish Dark Lord's Guide to Dating. And how far into that am I? I can't even remember. I'm 62% of the way into that. So I feel like this book is long though, because I feel like so much has happened to only be 62% into this book. But anyway, I digress. I'm going to need to get through that probably today so that I can edit this vlog tomorrow and upload Sunday. But I might start another audiobook now because then theoretically I could start the next vlog. 16 hours. Okay. Anyway, yeah, for this vlog, it's probably just going to be the rest of the Dark Lord's Guide to Dating. So I will catch up with you guys when I have another update on that book. And I'm going to do my nails.
I can read your body language, and I know what's on your mind. Only one thing left to do, boy. I can see it in your eyes. 'Cause I'm a bad, bad baby. Push my buttons, I'll go crazy. Do you know how to make me move? Dripping sweat down my body, feeling so naughty. No, we ain't got nothing to lose. 'Cause boy, I'm not your girl. buttons, I'll go crazy. Do you know how to make me move?
Hi, friends. Okay, so it is Sunday morning-ish. I mean, it's 11 o'clock. And I'm going to do some editing. And hey, Alexa, mute. Really confused why that happened. Anyway, it's a ghost. I have some iced coffee. And I'm going to do my editing. I did update a different vlog yesterday and completed a book, but it's part of a different vlog. So I still haven't finished The Dark Lord's Guide to Dating, because that was on my Kindle and I was listening audibly while I did some stuff. So I'm going to work on that today, maybe. I don't know. I'm kind of just in an audiobook mood. So I don't know. But I feel like I can't complete the vlog unless I complete the book. Anyway, struggles. So I'm going to edit this video so I have something to post for today because I'm trying to be back on track. But the actual reading vlog video might be next week at the rate we're going. But maybe that means I can fit another book into it, because if I finish Dark Lord's Guide to Dating, then I can read something else and then edit and finish that for next Sunday. So perhaps that is the plan. So that's what I'm going to do. But I just want to let you know that I was reading yesterday on Saturday. But I just didn't finish things, okay? For this vlog. But I finished other things for other vlogs. You know, what can you do? You can only read so many things at one time. I don't know how people, like, work a full-time job and finish as many books as they do. Maybe because they can listen while they're at work. I definitely can't do that anymore. But, you know, I'm doing the best I can. So, I'll catch you in a little bit. Hi, friends. Okay, I come to you with an update. One, I tried to edit a video. I spent like all day Sunday, literally just was going to start out just organizing my clips, you know, organizing my memory card clips, putting them where they need to go. And they just wouldn't move. And I wasted so much time and they just were like not cooperating. And I was like, this is ridiculous. So didn't finish that, got frustrated, whatever. Lacey, please stop. Okay. And then next thing, I started another audiobook, but did not still finish, but I still have not finished The Dark Lord's Guide to Dating. Anyway, however, I did start and finish God of Malice by Rina Kent, and I am kind of disappointed in this. I gave this 2 stars. I don't know if we saw that coming as a plot twist. That is a plot twist. It wasn't like how dark it was, because obviously, like, I read Little Stranger and gave that, I think, 4 stars. I don't like that it felt like Killian never gave Glyndon a choice. It's like, I get the whole, you know, she wants to act like she doesn't want him and he's gonna like force his way into her life, and I've read that trope, you know, that sort of setup many times, and it's not been as disliked as it was here for me. I just don't know. It was just like he was too much. I don't know how to explain it, because I've read MMCs like this that did not strike me this way. But their first encounter was like off-putting to me. I mean, I don't know. It's sweet that like he ends up cooking for her and being like, oh, you don't take care of yourself. Like, I'm going to make sure you're eating well, and like, you know, all that kind of stuff. Like, he had redeeming qualities, I guess, but it's just something about their dynamic And I know that she sort of has these realizations where she's like, yeah, I want to be hurt. Like, that's what I like. But it's not like some kind of consensual BDSM relationship, right? Where there's like aftercare and, you know, that sort of vibe. This is like, he is a sociopath, like or psychopath, whatever. But somehow he cares for her, even though he's never going to have those real emotions. I don't know, but he cares about. And she's described as like kind of, you know, like a boring girl, but yet he's just so infatuated with her when everyone else has made him bored. And it just the math ain't mathin', you know what I'm saying? I don't know. Like, the aftercare is him kissing her on the forehead. I don't know. I just wasn't feeling this couple. And the secondary characters that are like in the next books in this series, I just don't know that I really cared about them either, which is not looking too good for the rest of the series. And now I have bought this is one of those situations where I bought the whole series because I wanted all the matching sprayed edge editions, and I like the way they look. I mean, I didn't hate this. I didn't hate it, but I don't know if I was reading this with my eyeballs if I would have made it through it. So maybe I did hate it. I don't know. As an audiobook, though, it was like, okay. And I know 2 stars is, I think, the lowest rating I've given anything since I've been making these videos. Is it? It's possible. But something was missing for me in this one. I was not digging their dynamic. And I'm not sure, but I feel like people say that a lot of Rina Kent characters are sort of copy and paste as far as the men. So I don't know if that bodes very well. But I am going to read the next one probably when this next one comes in on Libby on audio. So we'll see. We'll see how I feel after the second one. But yeah, finished it, 2 stars. And that is my update. And I'm going to try once again tonight to do some editing and see if my computer decides to cooperate. I really don't know what to buy to edit on because I'm really integrated into the Mac universe. And to get a Mac with enough memory seems to be an impossible feat because it's going to be really expensive. But if anyone has any suggestions on something that's affordable that maybe I can just upgrade whatever I would need to upgrade, specific like parts or something, I don't know, something. Someone give me some suggestions on something that can actually edit with force. Like, I need oomph. I need power, apparently. I'm not even storing things on the computer, so I don't know what the problem is. And then stuff just didn't want to, I couldn't even move my clips, which seems like the most basic of tasks, and it just was not working. So anyway, that's my story, my tale of woe, and my 2-star book. I'm going to have girl dinner now and contemplate what I'm going to read next. So, see you in a little bit. Guys, I just realized that I never told you what the book is about. So in case you don't know what God of Malice is about, I was just here like munching down some pita chips and hummus and was like, wow, I didn't say anything about what it's about. This is about Killian, who, as I stated, is antisocial, whatever. He's psychopath, sociopath, whatever you want to call it. And I don't know what the proper terms are, so for what he is actually, because I don't remember. But anyway, has thoughts about murdering people, like he's on that kind of level, emotionless, he's mimicking emotions, yada yada. And he's like a member of the secret club of the college. And they're all rich mafia heirs and whatnot. I don't know, whatever. And then you have Glendon, who is the daughter of some important rich people. And her mom is a famous artist, and her twin brothers are also artists, but she has like an inferiority complex because she thinks that her brothers are both better and she doesn't stack up to them or her mom's art. And so she has that whole thing going for her. And her friend has committed suicide, and so she's been spiraling from that. Come to find out later in the book, they really were only friends for a couple of months. So the way she's letting this affect her seems... I'm not saying you wouldn't be affected if someone that you had grown close to over the course of 2 months killed themselves. I'm not saying that. But the way she's acting, like in the beginning of the book, I thought they had been like friends for years and years, like grown up together, like that whole situation. And so she's not at her healthiest mentally when she meets Killian. And yeah. This is how they fall in love. And it's a dark romance. Yeah, that's my summary. Pretty good, I think. That pretty much sums it up. It's basically just him pursuing her. And her thinking how this whole situation is crazy and she hates him and wants him to go away. So, yeah, that's that.
I can read your body language, and I know what's on your mind. Only one thing left to do, boy. I can see it in your eyes. 'Cause I'm a bad, bad baby. Push my buttons, I'll go crazy. Do you know how to make me move? Dripping sweat down my body. Feeling so naughty. No, we ain't got nothing to lose. 'Cause boy, I'm not your girl. Let's have fun tonight. Boy, I'm not your girl. Let's have fun tonight. I've been through some shit before now, and I won't get played again. Don't need you blowing up my DMs, 'cause I ain't searching for a friend. 'Cause I'm a bad, bad baby. Push my buttons, I'll go crazy. Do you know how to make me move? Dripping sweat down my body. Feeling so naughty. No, we ain't got nothing to lose.